I was born and raised in St. Bernard. I lived down in Toka, so it's where I've always been my whole life. We left for about 6 months after Katrina, but came right back and rebuilt our business and our houses and have been here ever since. I've always enjoyed being a part of St. Bernard and living in St. Bernard. My family has always been big into hunting and fishing, and so living in St. Bernard is a perfect fit for us and what we like to do. We're always on the water or in the woods somewhere, so it's always been a great part of my life, and now I get to share that with my kids. Just to be able to take them riding four-wheelers or out on a boat is just a big part of our lives. So I got involved in more community-typed events and programs about 6 years ago. I wanted to see the business community and our fishing community have more of a voice in government. So I started doing that by joining the Chamber and sitting on their board of directors and joining the Save Louisiana Coalition, which is a group that represents the fishing industry and makes sure that they have a voice in our coastal projects. So I got involved through those two organizations, and then in 2015, when the council seat was opening up, I decided that it would be better for me to represent those two groups if I had a voice directly in government. A lot of people ask me why I went straight for at-large as opposed to running in a district first. I just felt like the issues that I wanted to bring out and the issues that were important to me were more on a parish-wide level. The budget was really important to me. I felt like we needed a business person's view in the budget, and that's more of an at-large issue as opposed to just the district. And we have a great councilman, Mr. Montalongo in E, who I thought was doing a great job and is a great partner for me. We have so many things happening in other parts of the area. We were able to put in a film incentive program for the movie industry, which has been a big boom for St. Bernard, that I wanted to be involved in. The Old Araby revival of the Arts District has been a big part of what I've tried to push and tried to be a part of. So my issues were just more parish-wide as opposed to just District E. Council is a part-time position officially. And there's some weeks where we're dealing with a budget amendment or we're putting together a new budget where we're here 40, 50 hours a week. And then there's some weeks where it's not as crazy and it's not as much. So, I mean, as at-large, as chair, you're making sure that the office is running, you're making sure that the ladies have everything that they need to run the office, and we're here for the public. So we're here every week, most of the time 15 to 20 hours a week. But there's some weeks where it gets a little more hectic and a little busier than that. There's a lot of things that have happened over the last 3 years that I'm especially proud of. One of the main things is our award for financial achievement. I think that that's something that most people don't realize and how big of a deal that is. It's very small percentages of governments in the nation receive that award, and it just shows a lot of how far we've come in the last 3 years as far as our finances go. And the council's main duty is to make sure that the budget is under control. Like I said, one of the main reasons that I got on the council is coastal restoration in our fishing industry, and we've also made huge strides in that department. We've created the coastal department for the first time ever in St. Bernard Parish. We have dedicated people who work on coastal every day, and it has shown tremendously in what we've been able to accomplish over the last 3 years. We have $300 million in coastal projects either currently being constructed or pending right now, which is an unbelievable new benchmark for St. Bernard. So I have 2 little girls. They are twins. They're 8 years old. They go to Lynn Oaks School. They're in 2nd grade, so they're my main priority always. I also am a managing partner at Callais Ice Service, which is my family company. We've been around for 30 years. We manufacture and distribute packaged ice. So the boxes that you see in front of gas stations or supermarkets, that's our boxes, and we keep them stocked with ice. we make about 150 tons of ice a day. A lot of people don't realize that that's happening right here in St. Bernard. I'm also on the Save Louisiana Coalition Board. I'm the Secretary-Treasurer of that. And I'm also currently the Chairman of the St. Bernard Chamber of Commerce. That's just something that I love to do. I love to make sure that the business community has a voice in both the council side and just the community in general. That new businesses have the support that they need to get started, and that we're retaining the old businesses that have been around St. Bernard for many years. Well, time is not my friend always. I do sleep every now and then. It's tough, especially tough with my family life. I have 2 little girls, and so time management is always a juggling act. But I feel like I'm teaching them that community is important, and I'm teaching them how to be a leader and how to make sure that civic responsibility is something that they learn. So I balance as well as I can, and I make sure that the priorities of that day get handled, and we try again the next day. I think that the most important thing that I would want people to know about me is that I took this position more because I wanted to have a community that my kids can be proud of when they grow up. They're really my priority in my life, but I feel like this makes them even more of a priority. Me devoting my time here ensures that they're going to have a community that they can be proud of, and hopefully it's a better community than when I entered it, when I leave it. So I really hope that everyone can kind of see that themselves in that, and see, everybody kind of wants the world to be a better place for their kids, and this is just my way of doing it.